Just a few moments from Matthew chapter 14. St. Matthew's chapter 14, verses 22, 23, and 24, and verse 28. And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitude away. And when he had sent the multitude away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. And then verse 28, and Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. I want to talk with you for a few moments this morning, learning from Peter. God has a purpose behind every problem, every situation, and every circumstances. God has a purpose behind it. God used circumstances to develop our character. In fact, he depends more on circumstances to make us like Jesus than he depends on our reading the Bible. We read the Bible every once in a while, but we go through circumstances 24/7. Not all problems are big, but God used even the little ones in his growth process for us. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12 states, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happen unto you. God used problem to draw you closer to himself. So it ain't good all the time to complain about your problems. Matter of fact, I get tired of folk complaining about their problem. You ought to thank God that you're still here. Are y'all in here? It's during suffering. Let me tell y'all something in here. It's during suffering that we learn to pray our most heartfelt prayers. When we're doing good, we'll just go through the motion. But when God knocks you to your knee, you know how to talk to him. Are y'all in here? So when we are in pain, we don't have time for no superficial prayer. We want to hear a word from the Lord. See, when I got problems, I ain't got time to think of something proper to say. I just said, Lord, you know my trouble. Ain't no point in being proper with it. Just get right to the point. Tell God what your troubles is. Instead of putting up these superficial prayers, trying to impress somebody like the Pharisees. Why is it that problems seem to wait to overtake us after we have gone on out into the deep waters? The problem of life many times wait until you and I are way out into the midst of the deep water, too far from where we come from to go back, and not yet close enough to where we are going somewhere out betwixt and between, way out into the deep water. And I commend the disciples for something they did. Even though it was storming, they kept on rowing. And God needs somebody who can row when the storms are raging. I wish I had some help. And some of us, time we stomp our toe. We want to stop worshiping God. God don't need us with a new suit. He just need Bruce, a few of us, to know how to keep going when things get tough in our lives. Can I get a witness? So why did they keep on rowing? Because they remember who told them. And I can hear them saying one to another, brother, keep on rowing, because the master told us to go to the other side. And we got his word, and his word is enough for us to keep rowing on. So I read the word, they just rowed. In other words, they just kept paddling and they kept on moving in the boat. The higher the wind got, the more they kept paddling. Brother and sister, Jesus made it to the water. And I think I ought to tell you, he was walking farther and farther out, not in the water, neither under the water, but rather walking on the water. And he on top of a turbulent situation. And he had the problem under his feet. The stuff that disturbs us, Jesus walked on it and walked through it. And I come to tell you, when you're going through your storm, keep on walking. Jesus will put it under your feet. And they did not recognize him walking on the water. For the word declared that they thought he was a spirit. They thought that he was a ghost. Jesus spoke. He knows when to speak. He knows where, and he knows the how. And Jesus knew that they need to hear his voice. And I'm wondering if anybody in here knows and need to hear the voice from Jesus this morning. And Jesus spoke out and said, be of good cheer, for it is I, and be of good cheer, it is me. And Peter crying out and said, Lord, if it be you, then let me join you walking on the water. And Jesus responded with one word. He looked at Peter and told Peter to come on and walk with me. And I wish I had a few folks that been walking with Jesus this week. Peter stepped out of that little boat, and I assure you that those other disciples were talking to him and saying, man, what are you fixing to do? And have you lost your mind? You know that I can't walk on no water. But if Jesus tell you, brethren, you can walk on the water, all you got to do is step out and let Jesus do the rest. And I wonder if anybody in here done stepped out on the water and that Jesus done protected you. If Jesus tell you to come on, you need to step out on God's word. I done stepped out on God's word. And Peter had faith on that Jesus would take care of him. And when Peter stepped out of his boat and he saw Jesus coming walking on the water, and Peter was walking on the water until he took his eyes off God. You're gonna have problem when you take your eyes off God. If you keep your eyes on God, you're not going to have no problem. If you hold on to God's unchanging hand, if you hold on to God's faith, because it said faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I can't see myself walking on the water, but I got faith. I got faith to just walk on God's water. I've been through some storm. I've been through some rain. I've been through some turbulence, but I made it. I wonder how many done made it. When you done went through some problem, you done had some hard time, you done had some terrible time, but you stepped out on God's word. When you step out on God's word, God said if you make one step, I'll make two for you. I wonder, do I have anybody is willing this morning to step out on God's word? I got God's word. His word is a light unto my feet. His word is my shepherd, and I shall not want. His word, His word, His word is my confidence. Hey, do I have anybody know that God's word will get you through your problem? You may be in a storm, but I come to tell you, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Just keep walking. Walk on.